Silver Talk. What you talking about? If it ain't about money, better walk it out. JT and Eli about to plot it out. This is Silver Talk. Let's start it now. And we are live. How is everybody doing? JT, don't forget to take off your stuff off mute. All right. You're fired. You're fired, man. You're fired. You're fired again, bro. Oh, man. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another live episode of Silver Talk. My name is Eli from Urban Lifestyle, and the person that can't figure out the stuff is JT from JT Cornerings. How's everything going, JT?
What's going on, guys? Happy Resurrection Sunday. What's going on, Eli?
Awesome. Happy Easter, everyone.
Man, look, I almost had it right, man. I almost had it right this week.
I gave you a chance from last week to recover from last week, but I was like, nah, man, today, you know.
But you have to admit, it went a lot smoother. Right?
Way smoother than last week.
But I forgot to put my mic back on. I was so excited. You couldn't hear me speak.
Oh, man. So today we're going to be talking about Silver Bullion hype, maybe overrated. Let's see what else. What would happen? What would you guys do if the price of silver fell down and never recover, and the day the dollar died? All right. But how's everybody doing? Make sure if you guys are watching, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. And also subscribe to both the channels, Urban Lifestyle and JT Cornerings. Awesome. But JT, who do we have in the chat?
Oh, man, we have a big house today. We got 16 in the house. We have Michael M in the house right now. Hello, Michael. How you feeling? I got our friend Budget Bullion Stacker. Grow Mechanic said, I fired my cat last week. Yes, this week I fired my daughter. You got to go. Now my daughter's gone. Okay. We have also. Oh wow! I need you help me with this. Help me with this one. XX Terrible Leon 1899 XX.
Thank you. That on stuff.
I appreciate
helping you with that one.
I appreciate you coming this week.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have some more people here. Let's go. Let's grow. We got Brian Taylor, and we have XS Caliber.
How's everything going? Excalibur.
There you go. Evaporated toast. I know that's my best. Love evaporated toast. Mr. Matlock and James Ehler, and we can't forget the one and only Scrapping, Hoarding, Tinkering, Fun.
How's everything going, bro?
And Big Goo. Thank you, Big Goo, for coming this Sunday. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Guys, make sure you guys go ahead, JT.
And Kevin Rose. Thank you so much for
he said it for me.
Showing up.
Kevin Rose said it for me. He said smash that thumbs up button.
I know that's right.
Hey, JT, you mind putting your volume down on your headphones? Because I'm hearing an echo.
Okay.
And my voice is so powerful, it's just loud wherever it goes.
Oh, so it is. That's that deep Florida accent. There we go.
Awesome. But guys, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. Like I said before. But JT, how's your week going? Did you buy anything this week?
I'm had a pretty good week. Pretty eventful. I didn't buy much silver. I did purchase a nice coin for my daughter, but I bought some tools for the craft. But what about yourself?
I'm taking I took the break, man. I've done so many purchases when it comes to silver and gold within just the past couple of weeks. I was like, you know what, this week I'm taking a break, you know.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything. What I've been seeing is the prices is not. We'll get into that. Let's go into the speed round. We'll get into that when we go to the speed round real quick. But let's just go over the precious metals weekly update. How did platinum, gold, silver, and palladium did throughout the whole entire week? So right now I'm looking at gold. Current price right now is at $1,688.95, and the current highs for this week as far as gold is $1,718.21. So which means from week to week, gold gained about like $70 within the past week, which is a 4.33% of an increase. So to be honest with you, I didn't want gold to actually go any higher. I wanted it to fall back down to the 1,400 because I did want to buy more. Now I did purchase 2 ounces of gold when it was down at 14, close to 1,300s, and now it's up, and I'm like, man, I want to buy more. That's just my personal preference because you guys know I'm not really into fractionals anymore. I want to buy the ounces, and even right now, I know a lot of people are buying fractional gold, but for me personally, I just feel like it's too much on the premium. So if it's not an ounce, I'm not gonna buy. But of course, JC, I know you. If you can find some fractionals, I know you'll get it personally, right?
Yeah, because and I think if I can find a good deal, and it's real important to me just to put gold inside the stack. So I try to get as much as I can. Like I said, this is for the long haul for me. So I'll eat some premiums, not too much, but if I can find a good deal, I will grab some.
Like what I like to do, whatever it may be, like if it's grams, I like to times the number they're selling the grams times 31 to actually see how much I'm paying for an ounce. If it's 1/4, I like to times that number that I'm paying for times 4, so I can see how much it would be if I were to buy 4 of them to actually make an ounce. So that's how I like to do it with gold. Right. Now, as far as silver current price right now is at $15.41, and the silver's high was $16.02. All right. Now, silver's going up, but I almost pulled the trigger this week. I ain't gonna lie. I almost pulled the trigger. I know I said I ain't personally, but I wanted to pull the trigger. It's just same thing with gold. I was hoping for another pullback, even though it really doesn't matter because the premiums are like, it doesn't matter right now. For me, it doesn't really matter what the spot price is at right now because I can't get it at spot, and premiums are ridiculous. Yeah, unless you find. So the way I've been looking for it is I've been on Instagram looking for people who's selling at a decent price, and I was able to find some, and that was with the last week purchase that I did.
Right.
Okay. Now, as far as platinum right now, current price is $753. The week's high for platinum is $760. All right. So it gained about from week to week. From last week, it gained about $25.86, which is a 3.56% of increase for platinum. Okay. Well, you guys know how I feel about platinum. I mean, if you guys been watching me or even watch Silver Talk, you guys know how I feel about platinum. Okay. Now, palladium is the only one that actually took the dive down from last week to this week. It's actually currently at $2,184.75, and the week's high was $2,299, which means it lost from last week to this week $16.86. All right. Wow. So it didn't lose that much. It just lost a 0.77% decrease for palladium. Okay. Now let's go into the how the stocks do. We see now the Dow Jones is over at 23,000 points. S&P 500 is over 2,000 points, and the NASDAQ is above the 7, which is at 8,000 points right now. So one of the things I did want to mention, JT, I know, everything as far as the pandemic is actually getting worse. Right, we have the most cases in the U.S. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on right now, and it seems to be getting worse. But something I can't put my finger on is the stocks are rebounding. It's just keep going up. So it caused a lot of people to be like, "Oh man, is this like what's going on?" All the news are bad, but stocks are going up like everything is recovering.
Yeah,
right. So what you was gonna say, JT?
No, go ahead and finish your question.
Okay. So what I was going to say is I just feel like in the stock market, it was just we had like a whole entire month of straight bad news. Like we expected all this to happen. And I feel like I feel like the stock market, it factored in all the bad news. So like there's nothing new that can happen unless something even worse than what's going on right now that happens. But I just feel that all the bad news is factored into the markets right now. So it's just going up from there. We may have hit the bottoms. I don't believe so. A lot of people speculating, saying, "Hey, no, it's gonna go down even worse. Pass down to 18,000 levels." But hey, it's just speculation, and I really can't say that's what's gonna happen. It's just some good things to talk about. Okay, but what you was gonna say, JT?
I feel a little different. I'm hoping that we don't get any news in the upcoming days or weeks that these companies took the bailout to buy back their stocks. I just believe that a vehicle that is sitting still usually does not gaining any speed. or any steam, because businesses are closed. So how are they profiting? And people are out of work. You're looking over 6 million people plus filing for unemployment. And so I'm just trying to think, I'm hoping that the promise or the confirmation from the president for them not to buy back their stocks and pump their stocks to the point it's not happening. So just wanted to say that.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense. But like I said, it is all speculation. Unless I can go to each individual company and be like, "Hey, man, what's going on? What you doing?" Yeah, it's all speculation. But I do believe, just me personally, I'm not saying me and JT, we're not financial advisors, so don't make any decision based off what we're saying right now. Always do your own research. But I just do personally believe that it may go down a little bit more because I don't see why it's going up. That's just me personally. All right. But one thing I do want to talk about, we just went over the prices of silver and we just talked about premiums. But what I do want to mention is silver has rebounds. It came back to the, $18 levels. I'm sorry, not $18, $15 levels, right? And we've seen it go up to close to 16, back to where it was before the pandemic happened. Correct, JT?
Yes.
Now, what I want to know is if everything is back to the way it is, why is it that the premiums are not going back to the way they were? Now, there could be so much stuff that could be said. Oh, yeah, there's not that much silver. Mining companies are shut down. Refineries are shut down. A whole bunch of stuff. That can cause it because maybe the supply is just low and the demand is just extremely too high, even at the prices. So maybe they just want to keep the premiums where they are. But based off the interview we did with SD Bullion, we a lot of people comment, oh, watch when silver goes back up to 16 or around those levels, the magically it's just going to appear. Silver's just going to appear. Or they saying that the companies are saying that they don't have the silver, they're sold out, they saying that it's a lie. But based off what it is right now, it's close to $16. I'm still seeing everything remains the same. So well, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, we can definitely throw that theory out of the window.
Right?
That theory can be tossed. And so we can now say that they did not lower the premiums when the price started to get to the normal. So now we can look at what is still being said. Mint still being closed, production being slowed down. And this would be a reason why the online bullion dealers and the mints and stuff like are holding their position. So then the next question is, what are we going to do until things get back to normal? And you did speak of it earlier. You see a lot of private sellers posting things, and they're selling their stack maybe to increase their position. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm not selling my stuff. I'm not selling my silver. It's just
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, I'm just like oh man. Now the way I see it is, I like the fact that they're selling and they're giving much a better deal than what the bullions are offering. The bullion dealers are offering. For me, I like it because I'm always on Instagram. Every day I'm like messaging people, hey, do you have this? You have this? I'm always looking through my timeline and be like, oh man, I'm selling this too. I'm like looking at the price. I'm like, okay, bullions is closer. It's a little bit higher than what the bullions are offering. I want to find a better price. So it's easier to shop around, especially with people that you've dealt with in the past. You understand?
Right. Looking for that. And that's another thing we can focus on, buying from a person that has credibility. So that's always important. Always important to buy from someone with credibility, because you'll see a lot of private sellers trying to make their position a little bit better based off maybe bills coming in. But if you know that you have a person that can be recommended by a good friend, or they do good business, because I know I know people are posting eBay scams and also Craigslist scams. So just being careful about that.
No, of course, 100%. Now we do have a question from Mr. Madlock. Appreciate for the $9.99 spot. Appreciate that, Mr. Madlock. He says, if we stop buying, do you think the prices will drop drastically? dramatically. Well, I'll let you answer that, JT. What's your thoughts on that?
That's a good question, and Mr. Malak, thank you once again for the spot. Let me leave the question up so others can see it. If you stop buying, do you think prices drop dramatically? That's a good question. I don't know, because they will look at it to maybe entice more people's sales, and more people to buy. But if they do not have the supply, then it goes back to the theory of economics. Supply and demand. It would cost more, and people don't do sales unless they entice you to buy what they have in inventory. Maybe they're getting ready for a new coin to come in, something like that. But I really think that they may be out based off what we hear about mint slowing down until they get production back up. And like someone said in the chat, we'll find out by the end of this month to see if things will get back to normal, at least for the mints to get back in production. So thanks for that question.
100%. I do believe, it does. Yeah, so the supply of the silver has something to do with it as well. But if everybody just stopped buying silver, I do believe they'll try to entice the sell. Like we'll see more sales on what they have. I do believe that has to happen because they have to they have to, get rid of inventory. That's what they're in business to do. So if they can probably lower it down, I think that would happen.
Let's go to this right here if we could. This on the line of what we're talking about. Scottsdale, Silvertown sell direct now. So these are private mints, and this is something that they brought into the question, like, because these are mints they're selling and they have inventory, but they sell at a premium as well. We all heard about Scottsdale a couple of weeks ago. But these are private mints. They're not like the mints that are in Mexico that have been slowed down, and also like our U.S. mint here in North America. So I think, do you think private mints are doing a better job right now than our big mints?
I mean, you mean bigger than, better job than the bullion dealers or other mints
in getting silver out to customers?
I mean, I haven't really got into it, but if I'm just speculating and I'm just going based off my opinion, I mean, they're doing it in-house and they're probably not as big as a government mint. So, maybe the risk is lower, maybe less employees as far as what's going on with the pandemic right now. So the risk could probably be lower. Depends on how much silver they're able to get their hands on to actually do whatever they're going to do with it. But yeah, I do believe they'll probably, if I'm just going off speculation here, they should be in a better position than a bigger mint or bullion dealers.
Okay. All right.
That's just my thoughts on that.
I got the point. Brian Taylor, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We appreciate it,
Brian. Appreciate it. Awesome. All right. Let's see here. All right. Any other chat, JT, before we go into the first topic?
Stacking and Packing stated, Mr. Matlock, your theory would work, but there's still a lot of panic buying still going on. So that was Stacking and Packing's theory on what Mr. Matlock stated.
I believe it works. It's just not, nobody's going to stop, especially at times like this where we're unsure of what's going to happen in the economy or whether we're going to recover, or because I believe we're going to recover, but is it going to be the same? Like, to be honest, one of the things I'm saying is, are we still going to be using the handshake method of greeting people? Like, from that, like, I know me myself, like, I ain't shaking nobody's hand, especially if I don't know you. I'm be like, I'm going to give you the salute, the peace, or like the faraway fist bump or something.
Yeah.
And even online, like a lot of people are transitioning to the online sales. Like I believe that's going to change drastically. A lot more people, older people, people that have who likes to go into stores and things like that. I do believe there's going to be the online sector is really going to benefit from this.
Yeah.
Because people seeing how easy. I just had a treadmill delivered to me.
Yeah.
I just had a treadmill delivered to me over here, and all mine. I don't want to go out.
Yeah,
it's boring as heck. It's boring as heck. But I want to go out.
It's the convenience factor that's a part of that right there.
Exactly.
Going to Budget Bullion Stacker, he says, as long as silver is flying off the shelves, they won't drop premiums. Supply and demand. Demand is high, supply is lowering. Good point.
100%, 100%, 100%. Okay. Well, JT, let's go into the first topic here.
Okay.
All right. And the name of this topic was Silver Bullion hype is overrated.
Okay.
There is a comment in JT. I'll let you go and read the comment and give me your thoughts on that.
Okay. We have a comment from a subscriber, Aaron Kraus. It was about 2 to 3 days ago, basically based off last week, correct? It was our last one of our last videos that were put out during the week. Aaron Kraus stated, all the years I've seen people trying to protect from economic slope. It's always been that way behind the curve. The thing I tell people not to predict the ups and downs and be ready for the worst case scenario. Even been through it 3 times, and now I see every silver collecting pumper even know which way is north. The thing is not an investment, not to save your butt last minute in a SHTF. It's to use as a hedge for long term. And do want it's not going to make you rich quick. Buy stocks when when stocks go up, go into decline, buy gold. When gold rises, you sell that and buy stocks. I'm not a financial advisor, but 30 years in traded craft have better insight than most people. I find speculation to be trivial. Online, the IMO can hype on the downfall, and it's done to a lot of stackers. Personally, I think the mindset has gotten too complicated. You guys do this on a regular basis, but I thought it might be something to punch on. So
Awesome.
that comment was from Aaron Kraus.
Okay. What's your thoughts? Because I know you had some stuff to say before we went on live, and I just wanted to get that information out.
I think I really respect his perspective, especially being someone who's been doing this for over 30 years. You've seen a lot. Definitely things that I haven't seen in this market, but only things I've heard from. But one of the things that I kind of peeped is that it was a personal understanding of silver and precious metals, the reason why he may collect it. He realized it from all his years of experience that it is a hedge of protection against inflation for his money. To make money off of, he uses other vehicles such as stocks and other vehicles, as he stated inside the comment. So when it comes down to us on the show, essentially he is a watcher of Silver Talk, I feel that when we share information based off our perspective, and we do share videos or comments or articles that we see throughout the week pertaining to the topics that we share. So we only share spot prices because it is a concern of the community, and it's usually what some stackers and some collectors use as a point. Even though we understand as collectors and stackers, is that we'll never get anything for spot unless one of the online dealers are selling spot deals. So we kind of focus on what spot is only based off what we see on the major sites, so we can give people a reference point. But what we really focus on the most is what the premium is going to be. Because we know that's what we're going to buy it for. So I think that speculating that we focus too much and try to predict the spot, which we can't because there's so many variables that control that. I just want to make sure that we inform our subscribers that we just share information that we filter through our own, and we want to spark a conversation for everyone in the chat. So I appreciate Aaron Krause's observation, and I think that viewers like him definitely help us to put better information out for our subscribers.
Now, as far as me, I feel like there was this comment had a lot of impact, a lot of key gems in there. Some of the things I got from it, especially, I mean, he's been doing it for 30 years. That's 10 years for every
30
1
years.
year I've been doing this, you know.
Mhm.
That's 10 years of experience for every 1 year that I've been stacking for, you know. So I definitely respect his view, and it makes so much
Mhm.
sense. Now, one thing he did mention was he likes to stack for the long term, you
Yeah.
know. That right there, I do believe that that's a key point that everybody should know. There's a lot of people, and I may fall in category of this myself, but there's a lot of people that just gives a lot of information when it comes to silver stacking or gold buying and things like that. And if we like to say this, me and JT, we're not a financial advisor. All
Mhm.
right. So you should never make a decision based off something you heard me or JT say. So
Right.
you should always do your own research, go back, and I try my best, and JT tries best to get the information straight to you guys. If I'm making a video, I want to make sure there's a blog or wherever I got my sources, I want to put it down in the description below. All right.
Mhm.
But it is a long-term game. All right. And one thing he said is he's seen a lot of people, like, you don't get rich or stacking silver for the SHTF scenario, right? I
Mhm.
feel if you're panic buying because of a situation, like let's say right now, if you're panic buying and let's say you didn't have silver or you had 10 ounces of silver and then this thing happens and then, you know, you were stacking one silver a week, 1 ounce of silver a week. And then now this situation happens and you're like stacking like 10 or 20, 50 in 1 week. I do believe like in that situation is a panic buying. Now,
Mhm.
I did it myself when silver prices went down. I saw it's just me. I saw that before the prices went down, silver was like around $18, $19 as far as premium. When it went down, and I saw it at $15. I was like, hey, if I'm able to buy this much at $15, my dollar cost average will go down drastically, which it did. It was at 19, and then it went down. It went down to 17 after I made that purchase, and I was able to buy it at 15 because I bought so much quantity of ounces when it came to silver. So it was more, it wasn't me just panic buying like, oh man, I need to get as much silver as I possibly can for this. It was just like, hey, it makes sense. It makes sense. Hey, I'm able to get it like $3 down than what it normally is. So let me just buy it. And then the next day the prices went up and I felt good about myself because, hey, I bought it. I bought it. I felt like I stole it from them, you know?
Mhm.
So I do believe you got to understand the best value of silver. So I came up with a plan 3 years ago why I wanted to stack. I have not shied away from that. I probably tweaked it up a little bit, but I have not shied away from it. I
Mhm.
listen, I watch videos. JT right now, he can say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I'll filter it through a brain set. And I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't line up with my goals. It doesn't line
Mhm.
up with why I'm stacking. So I shouldn't change the reason I'm stacking because JT said he's doing this for him, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. You
Right.
know, so I have my core values, I have my reasons, I have my personal reasons. Because at the end of the day, JT's not the, you know, if anything happens to my family, I'm not relying on JT to actually take care of my family. So
Right.
since it's
Like
me,
so.
since it's up to me, I have to make sure I stick with my core values on what I believe and not
Mhm.
let no one change my thought process on what I'm doing. Or if I'll take advice, I'll listen, and then I'll filter it and be like, hey, does it align with what I'm trying to accomplish?
Right.
Makes sense. So let's go back to that order that I did where I bought like I think it was 35 Noah's Arks, right? When the prices went down. I looked at it, I saw it was down, and I did the research. I'm like, hey, okay, my dollar cost average is at 18. If I'm able to buy this, I could bring it down to 15.
Mm.
Not 15. I could bring it down to 17
Okay.
or
Okay.
17 or 16. So I was
Okay.
like, hey, I filtered that through my brain. So I was like, hey, all right, cool. Boom, boom, boom. I have this emergency fund, not an emergency fund. I have this like personal stack fund, like to take advantage of situations like that. So you always got to be smart. And something else he mentioned as well was when silver goes up and the markets are going down, you sell the silver and go into the stocks. And when stocks go up, you sell that and you buy gold and silver. Now, I did give an example of this on a video. I've done so much videos, I can't tell you which video it came from, but it
Mhm.
was I forgot which book I got it from. To be honest with you, I know it was a gold and silver book, but I forgot. I would like to say what's his name? Uh, not Rick James. Wow. I forgot the guy's name. James Rickard.
Rickard.
James Rickard. Yeah,
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. He's not a singer though.
Yeah, I
I
know.
grant.
I said Ray
He's-
James. The point of that was he actually stated that there was two kids, like 1910s or something, whatever, two kids who grow up, and then they had some money given to them, and one just invested into stocks, and he kept it in there through all the ups and downs, and one bought gold, and bought gold because stock market was too high. He bought gold, and then when the stock market went down and gold went up, he sold the gold and went to the stock market, and just kept doing that. Passed it on. They both situations, they passed it to their kids. One's a son, the other one's a daughter. And at the end of I think it was 2011 or 2000 and in between 2007 and 2011, they both came back and was like, hey, this one, he had like $1 million. He turned the money to $1 million or $2 million based off what his parents gave him all the way back in 1910, right? They grew that money all the way to $1 million. Now this one, who did the gold silver buying, who bought the gold and silver and traded it for stocks when it was up, and then when stocks was down and traded and did all that, that one was about anywhere between $20 to $30 million. So I see the point in that, and this is just based off my mind. I've seen the math behind it. And it made sense when I did. I just don't have the information in front of me now, so I may sound like I'm just paraphrasing a little bit here and there.
Okay.
But the math made sense, and I was looking at it, and corresponding with the time frame, and looking at the history of gold and looking at the history of stocks, and I see how the $32 million or the $20 to $30 million came into play. So outwork this one just by doing that tactic. So it does work. And one thing that I didn't mention, but that's key in the story I just said, was it was a long-term game. Right. It was a long time. It wasn't no, hey man, I went in today and I bought this much of gold and I flipped it next day and I made $30 million. It was not that. So one aspect that I can clearly say is buying silver and buying gold, you're not going to get rich. All right. And especially not getting rich quick.
Right.
Okay. That's one aspect in that. And there's like you say, if you're looking to make money, there's tons of other ways to make money.
That's right.
Like I told you 2 weeks ago, I made $5,000 in under an hour in the stock market. I don't see myself in a scenario where I'm like, hey, I can make that much in gold and silver.
Right.
Unless it drastically goes up,
I'm still waiting for my cut at the present time. You can't call nobody with all that excitement and say I just gained $5,000 and not send $5 to your co-host.
No, I did, man. I did. It's on the way. With the pandemic, it's probably. I know the checks. I know the check to you.
Oh man, I'm never gonna get it.
I know the check to you, but I think I think I spelled my name wrong on there. I put void instead of my real name though.
Right? Okay. Okay, boy.
Oh man, but the whole key point, I'm not getting the money. But the whole key point is, long term is silver. You have a good shot when you're buying silver in the long term. All right, that's pretty much it for that topic. JT, I know what was going on. I don't know if you was if you put the comments in the chat or if you showed the comments. All right, cool. But let's go over some comments what people are saying.
Okay, let's go with stacking and packing. Budget bullion stacking. Nothing has happened because hyperinflation. Though in a time with multi-trillion stimulus, it is a matter of time before hyperinflation could happen. Excellent point, because with all the free money that's been given out, we'll be paying taxes, and our children will be paying the taxes. Brian Taylor made a point. Mark Cuban, take that how you want it, is also skeptical about this market. He's going cash right now. Mark Cuban has definitely made some points on how the stock market is going and how bailouts, and he's about holding that cash right now.
I'm sorry. Do it to it says, JT, here goes your $5. Thank you for the 5 spot.
It's funny. Do it to it. I appreciate that. I'm still not gonna get it though. Because Eli's the only one monetized. So anytime,
hey, JT, man, don't worry, man. Once you get monetized, man, I'm sending it right back to you.
Like I said, by the time I get it, I'll have a head full of hair. But thank you so much for donating to the channel. We definitely appreciate it.
Man.
Oh man.
Hey, Terry XX Terry Balone, he says, but Robert Kiyosaki said he's rich because of gold. Now he did say that. But in the aspect, I've seen an interview where he was like, he makes the amount of money like. Let's say he has 10. Like let's say if you want to make, he said if you want to make $10,000 a month, right, you should have $10,000 in gold. So it's a belief that he has. Hey, the fact that he keeps the gold around him, he makes the same amount of money equivalent in gold.
Right. It says a law of attraction type of feel.
And I 100% believed it too. I 100% believe it.
I keep gold playing cards near me, and I haven't received an ounce of gold. And Eli's gained like 4 gold coins in 1 month. So I'm trying to figure out, are the cards that I hold in my hand frivolous?
Now it's the law of attraction. You got to believe it.
Okay,
you got to believe it.
I'll work on that tomorrow. That match of tomorrow. Good point though. Good point. And I know one thing that I believe the people who hold precious metals, especially gold, he knows that he's protected. If anything goes wrong with any of his investments, it may not make money, but it's still going to hold some type of value. And like I said, hedge against inflation. So.
No, it makes sense. It makes 100%. You know. Now, I had a whole point I wanted to come across, but I lost it.
Okay.
I lost it.
Let's go with a happy note. Silver Bull 30 says, "Happy Easter all. Stack smart. And if you are getting some money, I will use it for some silver and gold. That's what they don't want you to do. Just my opinion." Thank you so much for that. I believe as well.
Gotcha. Now, I do want to say, I personally believe like whatever spot price for silver or gold is right now, or whatever the premium, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if silver drops down $3. Like there was a point in time, like 2 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, I came up on here and I was like, hey, I lost $3,000 in my silver, and an extra 1,000, but I'll say extra 600 in gold. Right. But since that time, I'm more than rebound. So I don't like to look at the short term. Right? It's more of a long-term game for me. Right. So that's why I say it doesn't really matter what's going on right now in the short term. Like silver probably take another $2 dive down, and I'll probably lose an extra $2,000 off my silver. On paper, of course.
Right. You don't lose it.
You don't lose until I sell it. Exactly.
Right.
You know, so it really doesn't matter. It's about, hey, how long are you willing to hold?
Right.
How long are you willing to hold? And that's the point I wanted to bring across as well.
Ernesto Shapiro says, "I think if you want to make fast money, oil is the answer. Just agree to cut production. Tomorrow, oil price should go higher, but a war in Iran is inevitable, and the prices after a record high." So there's a point. There's a point to think about.
Makes sense.
Let's go last comment for now. Stacking and packing. Eli, did you look at the debt clock? Did you look at the U.S. government unfunded liabilities? At that time, it was 132 trillion. Today, it's over 139 trillion, plus 7 trillion in just a few weeks. Yes, the debt clock is definitely growing. It's definitely something. I think that's one of the most most eye-opening realizations that I've stumbled across since I believe in 1989 when they first put that on 42nd Street for the world to see. I believe the person who proposed that debt clock stated that he wanted the world to see the debt clock just so they can be shocked. So he wanted people to feel that response, exactly how much that we owe and how much we are indebted to other countries, and help us to realize this one thing, that our children will be paying for this these taxes.
Now, no, I was gonna say I did look at stacking and packing. I did look at it, and I do have a video on it. It's not something that like I'm doing a lot of research on. It's not something I could just be like, all right, hey, let me just go ahead and say my opinion on it. It's something that I have to do research and plot it out how I want to present it. It's not because Silver Talk is just It's just, hey, we're speaking our mind, we're having a conversation. That video is like something I have to bring down bullet points and I have to like deep dive into the research. That may be a 20-minute video right there from all the information I've seen on there. One thing I did do is I looked at what the clock say the price of silver and gold should be. And I actually took all the ounce. I think around that time silver was supposed to be at $2,000, and the price of gold is at $16,000. And it goes up in line with what James Record said. If we were to go back to the gold standard, right? What price silver should be and what price gold should be. So I did that, and I times those numbers with all the amount of gold and silver I had, and I was looking at it, I'm like, technically, I'm hypothetically a millionaire right now. You know, and a lot of people are millionaires based off of what that clock goes by. Okay. Let's see here.
Good point. Scrapping, Hoarding, Tinkering Fun said, big government got a 0 for credit score. Oh man, I think that's the truth. I don't feel bad at all when I see what the government owe. we shouldn't be. But I think that was a good point. And studying in that, realizing that it just to show where we are at the present time with the ratio from before 1913 and what silver is at that time and what silver is now, what gold was at that time, what it is now, where our debt stands, how our dollar looks, and how much the debt continued to rise, especially with all of these the stimulus packages, the bailouts for the small businesses, and also how long it's going to take for us to get in order. And one thing that touched me the most was that we're not just going to pay that tax. Our kids and maybe our kids' children will also pay that tax. That's how it's like we took the standard of gold off and put debt in its place. And definitely be working to pay this thing off. So this is a point to make off that one comment. Let's go pull something. You want to say something else or go to another comment, Eli?
No, we'll just go. It's 45 minutes. We'll just go into the next topic.
Okay.
Now I'm skipping topic 2. We're gonna save that one for last, JT. I want you to. We'll go into our second topic, which is the day the dollar died. All right, the day the dollar died, which was August 15, 1971. Now, JT, he wanted to go ahead and talk about this topic, so I'm gonna let JT go ahead and start it off.
Yeah. Well, I got a gift from one of our subscribers, and I definitely appreciate all he does for our channel, and that's Fred Garr. Fred Garr brought me the book, The Conspiracy of the Rich, by Kiyosaki, Robert T. Kiyosaki. And one of the chapters was chapter 3, The Conspiracy Against Our Money. The Bank Never Goes Broke. And the first couple paragraphs of this chapter states that on August 15th, 1971 is when our dollar died. So all the conversation that we basically had today shows you the effects of our money being taken off the gold standard, right? And you guys sit down and to imagine exactly how our life would have been if we would have stayed on the gold standard. As we know, the federal government is just printing money. And what that is causing, just like Scrapping, Hoarding, Tinkering Fun stated, that it's going to be a hyperinflation. It's like we cannot escape it, right? So what predicament did that put us in as Americans, as in hardworking? Right now, our present state, majority of our citizens here in America are now working worldwide. We're going through this turmoil. Right now, we got to remember that August 15th decision to take us off the gold standard. And I believe that was the catalyst to where we are right now. And we see, as was stated, $7 trillion more dollars will be added in the next couple of weeks because what was given is not going to fix it. So we have to look at the start to realize why we in the situation that we are in now. So that chapter kind of stuck out to me. If anyone hasn't got this book, The Conspiracy of the Rich, check out that chapter. and check out more information about when the dollar died and when inflation and when printing money, the print machine goes brr. It just continue to print daily, 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 and our dollar just drops in value. And this is why I believe that gold and silver and precious metals are a good hedge. And at least we should have a percentage of our fiat, our currency in hard assets like precious metals, because of that decision. So that's basically what I wanted to state, because I knew that the conversation that we would have today would lead us right to that decision made by that administration, the Nixon administration in 1971. So we have to find a better solution, guys, because we hit into a life of debt and hyperinflation.
Of course. And you have to put it into perspective as well. Back then, before all that, when they decided to confiscate our gold, right? I forgot who it was. I would like to say Roosevelt. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But when they did that, I'll say, I forgot what it was, but I think I honestly forgot the price, but I think $1 or $35 was able to buy you 1 ounce of gold, right? 1 ounce of gold, and a silver, I think $1. It matched it. Am I correct, JT? Or am I off a little bit? $1 was able to buy you 1 ounce of silver. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's with the silver certificate. It was redeemable for 1 ounce of silver. Yes.
Okay. So now we're looking at, it takes you 16, in some cases, at spot price, $16 to actually equivalent be the equivalent of an ounce of silver, right? And back then, when it used to be $35, you used to be able to get you 1 ounce of gold, and now it's like over $1,600 to get you 1 ounce. It shows you how much the money devalued in inflation. Because I don't believe that. I still believe gold still has the same purchasing power, like maybe as $35 back then did today. Okay. So you have to look at it as inflation. Like, let's just say if you were to go back in time, like in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, and you just saved up, you know what? I'm just going to keep all the change I ever received. If you gave your dollar and they gave you a quarter nickel, or not nickels, quarter dimes or half dollars. If you were to save all that, let's say your grandparents were to save all that, all the change that they ever received from purchasing something with a fiat dollar and getting all the dimes and nickels and half dollars back. Imagine how much money they would have had. I'm pretty sure that they'll have more money that they actually spent to actually receive that change in the first place. What do you think about that, JT?
I want to go to a statement and get to kind of sum that all up, because we have to look at things in this perspective about what we're dealing with the money situation, right? Fiat money, and the money that the government guarantees is legal tender. It's just become trash. it's just trash, and we have, with all the scenarios that's been stated and what you've been sharing, I'm just kind of I'm stuck. I'm just kind of stuck, with what to do next.
Gotcha.
And even though being employed, you still have to look at what's going to be next. What's going to lead to the upcoming months. What's going to happen by the end of the year? How things going to change? No matter with all these things happening, I'm always going back to like, what's next? I really can't. I know how to prepare, like, as things going normal, as checks coming in. You still make sure you budget, but I'm looking at like what's going to happen by next year. How are people going to recover? It's like everything around is starting to fall. So I really don't see anything being sound other than taking care of personal finances, taking care of personal just making sure your personal decision is sound, as sound as you can get it.
No, 100%. 100%. There's a lot of people that's unsure of what's going to happen. They're not sure. All right, hey, after everything goes back, how deep down in debt they're going to be, because maybe they haven't paid their rent for the past 3 months. All right, after the whole pandemic is over, they haven't paid their rent. Like, what's going to happen? Like, once they lift that eviction notice, like you can't evict nobody right now. Once they lift that, what's going to happen is all the money due, and how long do they have to pay? Like, they're not sure what's going to happen. You know, a lot of people's like, yeah, man, I'm afraid. You know,
Yeah.
I had a friend. I had a friend. He came up to me. He was talking, and he was like, Eli. And JT, that's man, you're fired, JT, man. You're out of here.
It's funny. My phone is off, but the mother-in-law just called. You know.
Oh man, no. Yeah, a friend of mine, he was joking around. He was like, Eli, man, yeah, man, I'm good now for this month, but if next month comes and it's still the same way, Eli, I'm gonna have to come to your front door, man. Hopefully you got them guns ready. I'm like, man, they're always ready. You know, so it's just a friendly joke, but it's a lot of people that's going through that right now.
Right.
You know, and even with the printing of money, yeah, people's like, they're so short-term minded that they're not even taking the time to be like, hey, after we get this money, what's going to happen in the future? Like how much value we're going to lose within our money.
Right.
Right. Trillions of dollars of money being printed. Like, what's going to happen?
Right.
You know, so it's one time, like, and this is one of the things I say, hey, don't panic buy, because you can't really, if a scenario is happening right now where it's a SHTF situation, and then now you want to get ready for it, I just believe it's a little too late. I mean, you can soften the blow a little bit if you can find whatever materials there is. Like right now, so you know how hard it is to find bullets. You know how hard it is to buy silver. Of course, you guys know. You guys have been trying to buy silver for the past couple of weeks. You guys know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to find toilet paper. You know how hard it is to find Lysol. But what if we just say, hey, you know, we're getting ready. Like, hey, I have cases of water. I have canned food like tuna fish and stuff like that, just stacked up. So we're in a position, and hey, I had bullets already. And if you guys in the prepping community, most of this is just like common sense. This is common knowledge within the prepping community.
I remember when people used to be neighbors, and I remember when you had conversations about what the community needs. I remember that you had community associations, which you still have, and I wonder because I don't have it in my neighborhood as we speak. Would these conversations be at the table if we could offer them, like letting people know to get prepared way before it gets prepared? I remember my coworker laughing at me saying, how did you get all these masks? I said, well, I prepared myself. You had no idea that this was coming. You're right. I had no idea that this was coming. But Ebola happened in the past. And if you were a doom and gloom at one time, you prepared yourself accordingly, correct? So
Correct.
If this conversation was had at the table, you would say, hey, it may be important to have these things just because dust. It may be important to have these things because we need to buy these things on a regular basis. And that means like the cleaning supplies, the toilet paper, the canned goods, the food. So if we put those priorities in order when we had opportunity, maybe that conversation could have been had earlier. It wouldn't be so much, but that only happens in a perfect world.
Of course. 100%.
Right.
You know, but JT, I'm going to go dark for a little bit. So if you want to take the screen yourself, I'll be right back. And just go over some of the comments. We're done with that topic, and then we'll go on to the last one. All right.
Awesome. All right. We got Stacking and Packing. It says, what does it show? That you still need to have a stack of USD. Most definitely. Just because we understand the US debt, that doesn't mean we still won't need cash. We definitely need cash. Cash is a form of it's a use for transaction. So we definitely have to have cash. And Stacking and Packing, I think if that conversation is being had, we would know to have a certain amount of money set aside. It's like if you are the one sane person in your group and your family member, and that means not, I mean, the oldest male, used to go by like hierarchy, correct? And you can be the one to say, hey, do everyone have $1,000? Has everyone have this stack? I don't think it may be it may not be that way anymore. That person is that sound of reasoning. People kind of only worry about their household and what happens in their four walls. So I think that I'm not saying that we have to be responsible for others, but I'm talking about each one teach one. If you know that people may need this information, share it with them. Make sure that they prepared for the next month, um, without being preachy or downtrodden on them. Some people need assistance. Um, I hate to be like Chicken Little and say I told you so. The sky was really falling, but sometimes people don't believe it until it's in their lap. So that was a good point. I think we do still need cash, no matter what we know about the debt clock, what we know about precious metals, what we know about the economy. But we should still have a sound plan, no matter what that is, depending on what you can do or what you have.
Hey, JT, that was good, man. That was an amazing point. I didn't want to cut you off, but I mean, like, take me off the screen for a little bit till I come back.
Oh, I thought you could do it yourself. My bad. Hold up. Eli's gone. 1, 2, 3. He's gone. Okay. Now let's answer some more questions, some more points. Okay. Master Pool. Master Pool says, anyone sell to the LCS lately? Did you get spot over for your Silver Bullion? You can leave that comment in the chat. Okay. What up, JT and Eli? Another good show. I'm making heat, so I'm not really commenting. Just going to watch in the PS4. Much respect. Thank you so much for stopping in. Definitely appreciate that. And a comment for stacking and packing. Stacking and packing. Yes, you're right. When Zimbabwe went through through there, you had to exchange gold and silver and spend it immediately because it would lose value by the hour. That's crazy. I didn't know that at all, that they had to exchange their gold and silver when their hyperinflation happened. And they got $1 trillion bill, I believe. Here we go. Brian Taylor. Like I said last week, you should practice hardship before you have to live it. Great point. I really believe that. Great point. Okay, let's grab some more. Anyone want to leave a comment? Let me see if I can grab some more. We always have some great comments. Go back to scrapping, hoarding, tinkering, fun. Most people don't care and call us crazy until now, of course. You're absolutely right. That's how things are. They definitely want to, discredit your thoughts and what you foresee based off what you research. Okay. Another question. What does it show? You still have to have cash. That's going back to the original. All right, we got some new comments. We got Eli back. So here we go. Let's see what's going on here. All right, Eli is back. Oh Lord, there he go. Uh-oh. And his sound is not on.
My bad. I was playing with my son a little bit. I forgot to take off the mask. Hold on, give me one moment.
Uh-oh. What is going on? What was you playing? Cops and robbers?
Oh man. But wait, continue.
What's going on down there?
Only in Miami.
Only in Miami.
I gotta make some money, JT. I've been out of a job for like a good 2 weeks, so
that's like in Baltimore where you said I got kind of scared. I better shut the computer down. So always have the same value, JT. I'm hoping it does. I mean, I hope one thing I do know is that silver, precious metals have never been to zero. So that's one good thing that we can definitely rest assured. I don't see it being zero in the future. So,
Hey, Mr. Madlock says, I thought Young Thug was here.
right. I was like, I was like, who let them Kodak Black out?
Brian Taylor said, hey, Eli got the exact reverse Corona mask. It covers everything else but the
mouth.
points.
Right. Oh man. Let me see here. Scrapping, hoarding, chicken fun. Him and his wife get the most out of court. You know what?
Him and his wife, yeah, that was a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Only him. Master Pool. Let's go back to a more somber and a more realistic approach. That's scrapping, hoarding, chicken fun. Always take it to the to the adult crowd. This is not the night show. You know what I'm saying? This is Travis Scott. It's hitting into another 2011. I'm sorry. It's hitting into another 2011. Silver will spike when oil goes high. Silver price will lag behind oil. Quantitative easing all over again, just like 2011. That's a good point. That's something to look into, and that comes from experience of someone who may have studied that cycle. I know quantitative easing has eased its head back into the limelights from last year to now, with everything going on with the economic cycle. So that's something to look into. But thanks for that comment.
And he also mentioned, he put another comment. He said, hold and wait, sell on the spike. And if you go back to 2011, like you always say, JT, it doesn't, like silver didn't go, it went up to $50, but how long did it stay there?
A week.
It was practically a spike. It went up like this and then right back down. So it makes sense. Now, referring to that, JT, referring to that, is that something that you may consider doing? Because a lot of people, they held even at $40. They held expecting it to go up to maybe even 50, 60, 70, 80, $100. Now, it all depends, because how would you feel? Like, let's say it goes up. Let's say silver right now, or after 3 years, it spikes up all the way to 50, 60, $70, right? Would you sell? Would you consider selling some of your stack at that point? Or would you wait to see what would happen? And if it falls back down, what would your mind frame be? Because around that time, the silver's at that point, I'm not selling. I mean, I'm not selling. I'm not buying silver at that point.
Yeah, I won't. I don't think I would buy silver at that point. But like, I would maybe designate a part of my stack to take advantage of that cash point. So, if I could take advantage of maybe selling anywhere from 40 to 100 ounces. Bye-bye. Yeah.
And
I would try to take advantage of it.
As long as it benefits me in some ways, not for me to be like, oh yeah, man, I just made $60 off every ounce, for me to go waste somewhere else. It has to be something like where I could put it into a different asset class. Or like one of my personal things is real estates. And if I can do that, I'll definitely do it.
T. Hagen said the same thing that you just mentioned. JT and Eli, do you think there will ever be an opportunity to where you can use precious metals to borrow against the purchase of real estate?
Yeah, definitely would.
Being an asset, it would be great to borrow against it, just like other assets. I'll be interested to see if anyone in the chat knows if that can happen, but and what they would think, because it would be great to borrow against, and I think that some platforms may be created for that to happen. But I don't know of any. But to use that as a hedge and also a borrowing point, just like you can borrow against your home, the equity of your home. You can borrow against the value of precious metals. I wonder what people would think, if that's would be a good way to hold wealth and to borrow against it.
That makes sense. Makes sense. All right. So let's go into our last topic, JT. Let's go into our last topic. This was originally the second topic, but I brought it to last.
Okay.
So let's put ourselves in a scenario where, let's say, silver goes down and never recovers. What would you consider doing at that point, JT? How would your mind frame be at that point?
If silver goes down and never recovers,
Mm-hmm.
man, I would. I guess with the conversation that we had earlier in the show, I'll be so confused because everything that we've learned said that it will rise, that it does have a downturn, like most things that has values that's be traded based off paper, and that but you say that it would never recover. How would I feel? Confused. You know, because it's not what I would have put my money into if I know that something would never. It's like it would almost be like a scam. What would make it not recover? What were some of the things you would think that make it not recover? So we kind of have that conversation.
Asteroid hitting the Earth, and the whole asteroid is filled with silver. Possibly.
Okay. Once again,
filled with silver, just overflowing the supply of silver.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
He's like, hey, that's not likely to happen. So, do you have anything that could possibly? Man, to be honest with you, that's the only thing I could possibly see. I mean, unless anybody else has a situation, they can write down in the comments or anything. But that's the only situation I can possibly see, or just pure manipulation.
Manipulation. Definitely with somebody, definitely an industry trying to hold it down, to keep the price down, maybe for a period of time. So let's change never to saying that it would stay down for a number of years. That may have people to just sell off because they believe that it's worthless. I would turn every last one to a ring. I'm gonna try to make some money back from it.
I mean, you have to think about it in such an aspect, because especially with the manipulation part, because if you really think about it, we need silver to consume. This iPad I have in my hand, it contains some sort of silver. My car contains some sort of silver. The phone I'm using contains some sort of silver. So imagine, let's say silver is actually at $2,000. How much more expensive would it be to purchase these things? Or would we be able to find something else that can supplement the value of the silver, or the value that the silver brings to the products? All right. So as far as manipulation, if it was up to me, I'd be like, hey, we need it to be, for us to put it in items, our consumable stuff. So the prices can't, if it was up to me, if I had a decision on it, like based off the topics at hand that's given to me, I'd be like, hey, you know what? It's beneficial to keep the prices down, because iPads, the cars, all these stuff that we use silver within them.
Right.
So I'm not saying that it will happen, but I can see a scenario of that happening. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I want to make sure I say that right. It's just a conversation here. It's just a conversation.
Because I'm just going by what Scrap and Hoarder and Tinker and Fun just posted. He says silver asteroids. Eli having stack of dreams again. My thoughts exactly, brother. He did tell me he woke up 15 minutes before the show was starting. So, so I'm sure he was dreaming about silver and gold again.
Hey, it's just a plan, because reason I stated is because the way my mind works is I like to oversee every outcome, even the one that are impossible. Yes, that includes an asteroid.
Yes, and just a point. Ha ha ha. Hey, the article of a golden asteroid planet was just recent. So, Eli, you may have stumbled across that article. I definitely, if we can find that article, we'll put it in the description so everybody can get same perspective.
Makes sense. So the reason I wanted to bring it up is I'm not a fan of, hey, putting all my eggs in one basket. All right. So I like to diverse my money. So I have different asset classes I like to put my money in. I like to have business, even a business like our business is not making as much as it used to before the pandemic happened. But hey, we're still able to survive with just that business. If it makes sense. So it's not having all my eggs in one basket, especially a job.
Wow.
especially just having a job. Like we all see how a lot of people, they put all their eggs, they work hard to climb that corporate ladder. But
Right.
something like this just easily just take the ladder from underneath them, and now they're free falling.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Free falling.
So
It's a great song by Tom Petty.
so even when it comes to silver, you
Mhm.
have to have the aspect of, hey, anything can happen.
Yes, true.
Anything can happen, because like if I said, hey man, in 2020 there's going to be a virus that's going to come and shut down the whole economy around the world, people would be like, oh, Eli's having those dreams again.
Yeah.
You
Probably
know.
so. Or watched a great movie before the show. Silver Steeler stated that for every 1 ounce of gold pulled out of the ground, 19 ounces of silver is pulled from the ground. The ratio of gold to silver is way out of whack. Definitely a great point from there. Stacking and packing goes back on the question that was laid out as well. To me, precious metals IRAs is just another way for dealers to make money off those who buy. This is based off the silver gold being an investment, which I do not agree with. Right. And that's, I guess that it's also answering in a way, borrowing from your precious metals, because that would be an agreement that you would probably make from a private sale, maybe a family member, that unofficial basically, but maybe notarized, stating, hey, I have $20,000 worth of precious metals here, but I need to borrow $20,000 in cash. Could you please agree to give me the cash so I can make my purchase? If I don't pay back in this time, here you go, my gold coins. That could be one way that it can be done, and it wouldn't have to be like an IRA that is printed in there. You definitely trading hard assets for fiat. In exchange, you get the hard assets if that person defaults. That is kind of different from what we may receive with when it comes down to the market and the other contracts. But
that makes sense.
Good point.
And I don't think it would ever happen that way. If you have 20,000 in gold and silver, and you're trying to borrow from that, you're not going to get $20,000 back. They will give you maybe a good 15. They'll give you 15 or maybe even 17.
No, I said from a private like individual. Like if
I don't think they'll just
member,
give you the same. Yeah, maybe, yeah, like that. Okay,
right? Because if you try to sell up $20,000 worth of gold, you're not guaranteed to go get the $20,000 back from a local coin shop. They're going to make sure they get their profit in there.
Of course.
But if I am asking to borrow money from someone who understands, hey, I need 20,000, and I got this $20,000 value here, but I just don't want to sell it. I just want to borrow against it, and if you're giving me no interest, that probably be appealing to some. And I'm sure some people may have done that.
No, of course,
unofficial.
Of
but
course,
it's a point I wanted to bring up.
Like even first time I've heard something like that was Stacking Nerd with like she was like, if she, like, let's say you're going somewhere out of town, right, and you don't want to just leave that in your home. He said she would go to a local coin shop she knows and be like, hey, just give me $5 for it, and I'll give you $10 back. Like you'll give them $100,000 worth of gold and silver, and all you ask is for $5 for it, just to keep it safe for the time you're out of town. Right, you get $5 for it, and then you just give them $10 back, and then they give you all your stuff back. But of course, that right there has to be some sort of level of trust. Like if I were to do that, I'll have like a mini safe. I'll give them the safe, open up so they can see what they have, what's in there, and lock it back, and make sure make sure I know every piece that's in there, and just lock it up and give them the whole safe, and tell them, hey, just give me $5 for it. If they're willing to do something like that, But of course, that comes with some risks as well. Like what happens if something happens to you on the trip, and then now you never come back? That's all theirs.
Yeah, I'm also looking at a comment from Scrapping Hoarding Tinkering Fun. He basically says that's called a pawn shop, JT. And I said, Scrapping Hoarding Tinkering Fun, my friend, without the interest agreement between family members. So yes, you can do these things at a pawn shop, but you have to pay a hefty 25% or more interest. So I believe people will do this in a private to help each other out. And hey, they still getting $20,000 for gold. But you're right. The pawn shop definitely does it. You know what? We want to put them on timeout. Where's the moderators? Well, he's a moderator.
Oh man.
um,
Shoot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that topic.
yeah.
You know, as JT mentioned, I did wake up like 15 minutes prior to the show started, so all I had time was to brush my teeth and clear the dust off my eyes, wash my face. I haven't ate yet, so let's give him 3 minutes. Let's just talk with him for 3 minutes. We've been on here for like an hour, 20 minutes.
We definitely appreciate brushing your teeth and getting the crud out of your eyes, because when you don't brush your teeth in the morning, your voice gets deeper because of the plaque, and when you don't wash the face, you know what I'm saying, we may think it's snowing in sunny Florida. So
man,
thank you we appreciate that.
Hey, that's just the stuff I do for my viewers. I don't want them to see me with yellow teeth and crust right here in my eyes and I'm talking like, where's all the credibility?
Right, because you did scare us with the mask. We ain't like you trying to steal my 5 subscribers. Stacking and Packing said debt is the killer of all wealth. Why would you borrow? If you have $20,000 in gold and silver, you should have around $100,000 to $200,000 in wealth. You're absolutely correct. I think that's a great point. I was just building a scenario based off a comment, Stacking and Packing. But thank you so much.
But at the same time as well, is what you do with the debt. Because I know people who goes into debt, like let's say they go into debt and buy something with the debt that actually creates money. And all they do is take a percentage out the money they give to pay back to them, and they still create a cash flow, positive cash flow at the end of the day. So, the country is built on debt. And I think we had a topic on that as well. The country's built on debt. It's just a lot of people use the debt in a wrong way. Major some of them is outright stupid.
Right.
Some of the stuff I've seen used for it.
Wow.
Just my thoughts in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Brian Taylor, bring a little light to the situation. My family members be like, "Oh man, I had to buy some Jordans, so I use your gold coins." Oh man, I can see that happen. My family, I wouldn't do it with at all. But Rob Obama too says, I'm new to stacking and I'm saving for my kids. I love both of your shows. Thank you so much. And I'll see you your check later. And they are super helpful. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that vote of confidence. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. But guys, if you guys are watching, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. You can subscribe either on the Urban Lifestyle channel and on the JT Coinways channel and leave a thumbs up. All right. And also always check down the description. We have some awesome free resources, like if you want a free stock on Robinhood, there's a link down in the description below. If you want some great books you guys should read. And if you haven't read the book Fake, go down to the description and check out the book Fake somewhere down in there in the description. I think it's like there's a list of books that I believe that a lot of people should read. So make sure you guys check that down in the description below.
Yes,
as well. Okay. And also, I do want to say thank you for all the people. If you saw the community post I posted where I was giving out these urban grammars urban grammars. I put grammars because a lot of people tell me my grammar is like off, so I just call it urban grammar. All right, it's like these 1 grams in between 1 to 1.2 grams of silver right there that I poured and I melt and I put my stamp on. And it's for people who supports the channel with just a $2 support either through my PayPal or Cash App. And just let me know where you want me to send it. I'll send it to them. I do want to say thank you for all the people who help support. I've been getting a whole bunch of them, and I do want to say thank you for that.
Jimmy Lasari stated, yes, the country is built on debt, but you can borrow to create wealth. I do believe that. Most people just don't know how and where to put their paper money in. A good point. How you doing, Wheatback Attack? I appreciate you stopping by. Hit the like button upon arrival. How can you too not be good? I don't know. But thank you so much. Appreciate you for reminding people to hit that like button. I'm blind, guys, even though my glasses are pretty big. Also, do it. When can I buy a Silver Talk shirt? Eli.
JT, you're in control of that. I told you have that ready by this week.
Yeah, I wanted to see if Eli would throw me under the bus, guys.
Yes, of course, man. Yeah. And right, I'm gonna throw you under the bus all the time. Last week we end off the show. I was like, "Hey, JT, and have that shirt stuff ready for next week." JT's like, "All right, I got it."
Yes, guys, we will get the shirts done. We will have white shirts and also black shirts. But because of the recent slowdowns of companies, it's hard to get the materials. But we will be doing what we think will be successful pre-ordering. So we'll have something up, and we'll ask you guys to pre-order so we can make sure we all the shirts out for those who are interested, and especially those that I've talked to by email. So yes, we will be having the black shirt or the white shirt. Both of them will be nice quality, and we'll go with the pre-order first. And we also got something else special for you guys too. Okay. But thank you so much for asking for us, people who would care to wear some cool Silver Talk swag.
Awesome. All right. Let's see here.
Okay, we got some new people. Oh, we got our friend John Rawls back. What up, guys? Been out of sight, out of mind for a while, but I wasn't about to miss this live. That's what I'm talking about. When we have subscribers like you all, we definitely appreciate it. Who just come in and stop in and say hello. And we love to see a familiar face. So thank you guys. It means a lot to us to have you in our live stream, and also coming back for the replay of the videos that Eli put up. We definitely take out some segments, and you may see that we put a lot of comments up throughout the live stream, because if you go to my channel or go to Urban Lifestyle channel, we kind of grab comments, or we grab segments and talk about them in detail, and nice bite-sized videos. Eli's definitely putting some good ones together, so go make sure you check those out as well.
Awesome. But yeah, man, like I said, I am hungry, and I like to say I appreciate all you guys who took the time out your life. You guys can be doing anything with your life, but you guys came on a beautiful Easter Sunday to watch us talk, even though I'm hungry and like my mind is like going loopy right now. Right. I do want to say thank you, or maybe it's because of what I have in the vape. Anyways, that's a side note. Anyways, so I do want to say, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. And I should have a cut of these videos probably sometimes later on in the evening and later on, throughout the week. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. JT, go ahead and finish it off.
Sorry, guys. At JT Corn Rings, have the lights reflecting from his forehead onto his glasses. Hey, I had to make sure it end with a forehead joke from our friend Michael M. And thank you all, guys, for all the comments from Stacking and Packing. Definitely appreciate your comments. Scrapping, Hoarding, Taking Fun. Jamie Lasari. Also, Notes for You Good. Thank you so much. Eli ended the way you ended. And I just want to say, guys, make sure you create something daily.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, make sure you guys subscribe to Urban Lifestyle and JT Corn Show. Leave that thumbs up. It's highly appreciated. And have a beautiful